Got ourselves team 1 with Chill Pills going to be first up as a Frosty DK versus Grimmon on the other team. It looks like it's going to be a 1-to-1 wombo combo. Chill Pills actually having to get aggressive here pretty early on against Grimmon. Chill Pills is coming out for the Retribution Paladin. Big damage out of Chill Pills. I don't know where. Wait, what? Whoa! Chill Pills just massacred my boy. Big damage to the KM right after one of these obliterates. They were just chunking these guys. Is that a pet onto KM too? Looks like KM did have to deal with the pet. Does explode the pet. KM somehow. Oh, he does get out of stealth though. Chipless can somehow get on top of him. Fleshcraft is coming out. Goes in for a cheap shot. Chipless at least had himself a defensive for a second or two. Evasion is available for the rogue and does get a poison on Chillpills. Does go for Lichborn with death strike, death coils back to back to fuel his Frosty Fury. Man, that was some big damage. That was some big obliterates. See, maybe it's the maze that does the trick. Does try to go, does clip him with the Remorseless Witcher for a second. The sap does not last long. If you can get the rogue out in combat, get him dotted or something, he does not. Looks like KM still has a disease on him though that keeps taking him out of stealth. Chillpills does throw down the Dragon Strike, the Syndragosa. Not enough though. The Frostrum Fury. Syndragosa Breath will be another thing actually. Gonna be Chillpills IBFing out of this damage. Trying to see if he can turn up the heat. Got himself some big obliterates coming back to back. Cloak Shot is available for KM. Is able to at least manage with some of the Frosty damage. Big obliterate smashes down the rogue. Smashes his skull in half. Just cracks it open like a coconut. And that's going to be obliteration up next with the combustion. Blink it away from Chillpills. Chillpills using the line inside in the middle to kind of wait out for combustion to be over. Anti-magic zone coming in. Try to stay in anti-magic zone for as long as possible. Probably going to interrupt onto the G-Pie. Where did the mage go? And obliteration actually went to the other side of the waterfall. With Chillpills and neutral recovery, does have transfusion rolling. Might be able to get a lot of death strikes back to back. We haven't seen DKs go for transfusion in quite a while. And is going to have to get some slows onto obliteration. Has some cooldowns coming back. So Chillpills does have a lot of resources to work with. Death strikes are coming back to back. There's going to be a stun into obliteration with the Remorseless Winter. For Chillpills, it's a freebie stun. Obliteration try to land himself in invis if possible. Chillpills dropping down Death and Decay, gripping obliteration in front of him with a stun to follow with a Strangulate. Big obliterate afterwards. But that's going to be Breath for obliteration as he separates from Chillpills. Does get blinks while he is unable to cast fire damage. And Chillpills is going to get a pet in there. The pet should get a freebie stun in there, which is going to DR obliteration pretty hard. But that's also another set of health for Chillpills as he recovers a lot of health. Transfusion rotating with the second help in hand coming out versus obliteration. Going to be an ice block for the mage. And Chillpills at least was able to recover a lot of health. Forced a lot of pressure into Oblit. And Oblit recovered all the health, I guess, while inside of ice block. That is a conduit for them. That's going to be Chillpills trying to see if it might be able to crack through the shields of obliteration. Still continue to hit death strikes whenever possible. Just trying to hit death strikes early in order not to fall behind against the Frost Mage. Hit to the stun right after onto obliteration. Not much you can really do with combustion. Trying to CC. All the combustion obliterates are still flying. And obliteration is probably going to get hit with an obliteration himself. Oh, the cauterize. Trying to keep him lively, but that's going to be the pod. Unless Chillpills just doesn't have the damage to break through a pod, it's over. Wait. Oh. Almost didn't have enough. It looked like he was about to get his full res off. But it's going to be Chillpills getting hit with a stun from Zeloneth. Zeloneth playing that Unholy. Chillpills surrounded by the army of the undead. AMS coming out. Might have to rotate even more defenses. That's a lot of damage coming out for the Unholy Death Knight. The Frost DK Chillpills trying to hang in there, trying to maximize the amount of health he's able to get. Lichborn available, is rotating with those death coils. Still having to play very defensive while Zeloneth is allowed to play hyper aggressive on him. Zeloneth actually popping off that Death Pact really early. Chillpills not able to use Death Pact for now. If he does use it, he better have some damage lined up because he's not going to be around for much longer. Big Dragon Strike from above onto Zeloneth. Still holding onto his Death Pact. Zeloneth actually survived the necrotics of his Death Pact. And Chillpills still alive. Death Pact available. Does he have the damage? Stun onto Chillpills. No way out. IBF available actually. Could IBF this if he needed to? Is going to get himself a shield. Slowing down Zeloneth. Zeloneth rotating Lichborn. And actually using Death Coils aggressively instead of defensively. Chillpills does wait out through the necrotics of the Death Pact. Transfusion is available. Zeloneth tried to see if he could leap away from him. The Chain of Ice and Chain of Ice for both of them. Keeping the DK's own competent. Chillpill's got the helping hand. Zelda, not a lot he really has left. Looks like the monk getting gripped there, but he's calm and collected. Chillpill's taking him out, trying to take the momentum towards Brew Captain right after. Gonna be immediately disarmed by the monk. Stunned on Chillpills as he has even more resource rolling with a rune weapon. Remorseless Winter's available. Should get a stun into Brew Captain unless he can get away somehow. Ring of Peace is available, so Brew Captain does not have good karma play. And Chillpill is able to get a lot of death strikes from the images, expecting the stun out of, or Fist of Fury out of Brew Captain any moment. Trying to play very, very carefully around it. There goes a Fist of Fury, landing big damage. Chillpill's with a chance fusion. Brew Captain trying to see if maybe the big Brew wall is able to keep him running. Karma available. Chillpill's no AMS, does have AMZ at least. But looks like maybe the damage from Brew Captain is too much. Touch of death through the Fleshcraft. And down goes the Frost Juggernaut with Brew Captain last one left of on his team. After that Frozen Storm just rolled through Team 2. Just a Blizzard rolled through, man. Just a Remorseless Winter rolled through. I think that I got a good title for this video. This Death Knight is the embodiment of a Remorseless Winter. Just a biting cold. Crazy. Let's go to fights for Brew. Does go for Alexiup onto Dalaran Jr. Oh, I like so many cool human customizations. So many people, nobody plays the same vanilla humans anymore. Everybody got so much of like cool new human customizations going on for the tunes. I noticed the beards and haircuts and all that. Big Fist of Fury is flying for Brew Captain as Dalaran. Hope it will stay on his heel. But that's going to be massive support for Brew Captain while the Paladin takes a second to figure out what's going on. Brew is going to have to use all that mobility to catch up. Big ports available as Dalaran. Limited mobility Paladin. Able to do only so much, but throw judgments. Hodge into Brew. Does he have a go? Final Bird does come out. Has a trigger for it. I don't think it's going to be enough. Well, maybe actually. That's going to be a big old bubble available for Dalaran. This needs one more hit. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got it, boys. Maybe. Brew landing that karma. No bop available. Dalaran's actually looking to burn through that karma. Can he do it? Let's think it's going to be maybe Brew Captain getting another one in the books. Shield Avengers available for the Palo, and that's going to be it. All those images, the Zoan and the massive powerful kicks of Brew Captain, taking him out quite handily. With Cantribus going to be up next. Warrior rolling in with the spear onto Brew Captain. Can't really go anywhere. Does get hit by the spear once. And then bails out of it immediately. Going to be Cantribus trying to see if he can catch up. Needs that execute. Does he have one more charge or leap? He just needs one more global. Zerka raging out of that income. Just needs himself a few more hits. And that's going to be a port for Brew as Cantribus does fall off the platform. Looks like Brew might be able to survive this. Oh, he needs one execute. One execute. Fist of Fury flying for Brew Captain, trying to make some damage happen to Cantribus. With a disarm right after. The warrior can only do so much but punch. But punch. And maybe kick. And roar. As he charges right in. And Brew Captain should be able to survive the Stormbolt coming out for Cant. And there's going to be a parry to follow Brew. Just looking to avoid him as best as possible. We're at the 8-minute mark, boys. 21% dampener. And looks like Cantribus does have him locked in a fear. Warbreaker comes in. Zerka Rage not available. And even if it was, it's going to be a Ring of Peace booping him out of the way. Try to see if he can leap in there. The Ring of Peace stops him. There goes the big old spear. Stops Brew Captain. Brew Captain has the Fist of Fury to deal with this. Is an AK. Cantribus does need himself maybe a defensive. Stun onto Brew. Can he maybe turn around? The spear is slashing and dashing at the guy. It was a disarm to fall. Cantribus still is alive though. How is he still lively? Haymaker onto Brew. Does charge right after. And Brew does have the carrion weapons of order, or does actually still does, right? It is actually such a long cooldown. I keep forgetting it's like a metamorphosis. Fist of Fury, stopping Cantribus for a second. Does he have a way to break the Fist of Fury? Gonna be a big old kick for Brew Captain. Looks like he was just putting in work. With Nightly Ghoul, yeah. As another Frost DK rolling up onto Brew Captain. Another Frosty. So many Frost DKs, boys. From Sisters of Elune. Brew is going to be able to catch up on a lot of heals though, so he's going to be good for him. We still also have Evil Doer in the back, so that's a lot of people that Brew Captain is actually going through, man. That is actually a ton of people. If he's able to somehow come back, defeat Nightly Ghoul, and have a duel against Evildoer, he might actually be able to have the biggest comeback for his team. But we'll see how it works out, as Nightly Ghoul does send in the dragon missing by a hair. But the DK still has plenty of damage if they are as aggressive and as resourceful as Chillpills is, or even half as resourceful. They should have this duel at least be a clutch one. It's going to be sacrificing the pet very early on at 32% dampening. Probably not a terrible idea. Nightly, super low in health. Do they have anything else to survive? Not playing Death Pact. It looks like Brew Captain does change up the scene to a 1v1 versus Evildoer. Can Evildoer make a comeback or finish it off for his team? Or does Brew get himself the biggest comeback of the century? Opener does force the trinket out of the monk with an incap to follow as Brew repositions into the waterfall, trying to create some space between him and the Druid. The Druid not even going for a re-stealth. Thorns available. Just kind of wants Brewcap to attack him. Wants him to hit him. But the Ring of Peace is keeping him at bay. Big old bite into Brew does land the port, but the bite still sets in. Bash onto Brew. It is going to be a pretty big bash with Convoke. Does he get a big setup with Convoke? Looks like that was some rest in there, and does end up finishing off Brew. I don't know if he had a karma for that one, but he almost made a big old comeback. Chillpills actually got 4 kills. It looks like he didn't, but he actually did because of Obliteration playing Night Fae. You get the pod. If you break through the pod actually kills the person inside. Not